Hey Kara, this is Jerry walking with Keller Williams Realty, Greater Quad Cities here in Bettendorf, Iowa. This is our subject property that we're looking at becoming our potential office space. It's just a big brick box, not really attractive at this point, but I think we can change a lot of that with some landscaping help. We're going to walk you around the outside of the building, then take you in through the front door. I got my assistant Sean Hanley, one of our associates. He's our trusty technology guru, so hopefully we'll get through this. See you in a minute. Okay, Kara, this is going up the driveway. This building actually sits sideways on the lot. The front door is facing south. The main street, Utica Ridge Road, is back to our east here. Not really the most attractive setting. We're actually looking right into the back of the neighboring building, so we don't have great street curb appeal from the front of the building. We're going to walk you up to the west end of the parking lot. Okay, Kara, we're looking at the west end of the building. This is the parking lot. The parking lot holds about 75 to 80 cars. I think I can get up to 90 depending on how I stack them if we have special events. Things I want to point out here are the 3-car garage on the left end. Our thought is to convert that into our training room and meeting facility. I'll show you that on the inside. A couple of other things of importance here. This is the main front entrance of the building. But if you look immediately to the right, you'll see the handicap accessibility sign there, and you see a second man door. That man door is not on the blueprint. This building has been duplexed on the inside. I'm going to show you a partition wall, but I want you to keep that door in mind because that's a second entrance for maybe agents into the main office area. Okay, Kara, this is walking into the front main door. You see there's a small vestibule here. This measures approximately 5 foot by 5 feet. We take an immediate left into the lobby. We're going to pan around to the right, and you will see our reception area. Also to the right there again, you see a small window that looks back into the vestibule area. Don't know if this should stay a window or be closed off. Here in the Midwest, we have extremely cold weather, and this vestibule will actually be very helpful in climate control. It'll stop winds from blasting into the office every time someone opens a door. So we might want to keep that intact if possible. Let's go walk into the hallway in here to the back. One of the things I want you to notice right here, you see the women's and men's restrooms. On the blueprint, that shows us customer conference room 109. That is not existent. That has been converted to 2 restrooms. Then 108 is this small room right here. Just a very small office. Sorry, John. And then we're going to go immediately to the left here. This is the 3-car garage area. This room measures, if I remember correctly, approximately 38 by 25, I believe. Don't quote me on those measurements. Ceilings are about 10 foot 10 inches, if I remember correctly. This has a floor drain in the center. Not sure if that'll be an issue or not. And of course, we would have to remove these garage doors and put in windows if possible. This door in front of you here is just a small storage facility. There is currently a gas line to this garage. It was heated at one time, so it could be its own separate heated space. Okay, Kara, this is from the lobby again, walking down the hallway. Immediately on your right, goes back into the reception area. If you pan around to the left, this is a hallway going to the back of the building. On the left-hand side are 2 more restrooms, and in the center you see an opening that was used as vending. It's marked as vending on the blueprint. Here's a small office, which is office number 110 on the blueprint. And we're continuing back to the east into the main room, what I'm going to call main room. This room measures about 20 feet wide by 57 long. But there's some interesting points here. This goes into the reception area. Panning back around to the right, if you stop, you see a large opening there in the middle. On the blueprint, that is room number 111. That is no longer existent. That's an open area. The large office you see in the back is a conference room. That is temporary wall fixtures. Those are like a plastic wall that are kind of a prefab unit, can easily be removed. The most important thing is this wall here to your right that you're looking at, the long wall. That is the partition wall that was used to duplex the building. If you remember from the outside front, there was a second service door. That service door is just on the other side of this wall. This wall would be removed based on your recommendations. The back wall there would go into what's called the lunchroom on the blueprint. And then there's a hallway that goes down the back of the building, which we'll show you in a second. This is the rear hallway. We're moving forward. Immediately to the right here is our lunchroom or break room. We have a very nice rear lawn that could be very easily used for outdoor entertaining, cookouts, small events, those sort of things. Back down this rear hallway. To the right is what's called the stock room on the blueprint. However, something to note here in the blueprint, the stockroom door shows at the end of the center hallway. That's not the case. It's actually to the right of the hallway. This small hallway you see here leads to the backyard. Immediately to the left are the electrical panel room, a furnace room, and then to the left again is a small janitor room, which shows as janitor room on the blueprint. We come back to the center hallway, and we're looking directly into the reception room again. Okay, Kara, this is the east end of the building, the other side of the partition wall. You see the wall to the left where the ladder is there? That's that partition wall that we were looking at just before in the other shot. This room measures about 70 feet long by 43 feet wide, ceiling height of 8 foot 10 inches. And 8 foot 10 inches is the ceiling height throughout the entire building. I have popped up a ceiling tile. I think you got about a foot left of room up there to work with, but it has been fire taped, not very attractive, a lot of hardware showing. So probably have to leave the ceiling tiles, I'm guessing. But another thing I wanted to point out to you is the offices along the back wall over here to the right. These are all temporary walls again. It's those plastic modular units, which you can see right over here stacked against the wall in the right. Very easily removed. They're not permanent structures. So that leaves this one large wide open room. You do notice in the floor there are a lot of electrical outlets, and there's a couple of electrical drops coming from the ceiling. I'm guessing this is pretty much an open span building. You see the two brown columns there. That's the main support beam, I'm guessing, for the truss system up overhead. So otherwise, this is just a wide open room. What we are missing a little bit of is windows on that back wall. You can see there's a rear exit on the back wall, and there's two small windows, but that's about it. Okay, we're going to walk you to the outside backyard, and then that will conclude this tour. Okay, we just stepped out that back door. This is the backyard, looking directly west, back to the west end parking lot, which we showed you in the beginning. You can see we got great space to work with here as far as outdoor patio or deck area, entertaining space for events and things. This will work very nicely. Okay, Kara, some of the things I wanted to point to on the blueprint for you is, if you notice here, room 109, as I stated before, this has been split into two restrooms, a men's and women's restroom. So this room does not exist as a conference room. It's now two restrooms. It's just outside the lobby. 108 is still intact. The other thing here is in the stock room, number 118, you see the doorway to the left at the end of the hallway. That's not the case. This doorway is actually over here in the right corner now. This is just solid wall. The next thing in here, this room number 111 is not existent any longer. 110 is still there, but 111 has been removed. This is an open space that went into that large conference room in the back that was built out of partition walls. The last thing to point out to you, the partition wall that has been used to duplex runs exactly in line with this lunchroom wall. Straight down the center of the room, next to the windows in the front, there's a 34.5-inch gap between the edge of this window and the start of the service door. The service door that we just went in is right about here, walks into this large room on the right. This is a big empty shell. Hopefully that's helpful. Please feel free to call me or text me if you have any questions. 309-373-0373. Thanks, Kara.